There it was, sitting on the side of the road over 8,000 miles away from my home in California. It had the correct dark Highland green paint, the iconic American torque thrust wheels, and a stance that was about as close to perfect as you could possibly get.
So the other day when we were at the event at Caffeine and Machine, we came upon this, a 1968 Ford Mustang that's kind of a tribute car to the movie Bullitt with Steve McQueen. Now, believe it or not, we've actually been looking for not so much a Bullitt replica to film for Big Muscle, but a 68 Mustang. I mean, it's one of the most iconic American cars ever. We just didn't know we were going to fly 14,000 miles to find one. This is a car that inspires so many people to do what they do, right? I mean, I have a 68 Charger. This is the 68 Mustang. That car chase in the movie Bullitt inspired so much of what I do with Big Muscle. I never thought I'd be driving it in the Middle East, but I am, and it's an amazing thing.
Now granted, we were a long way from San Francisco, and Frank Bullitt was nowhere to be seen, and there wasn't a black 68 Charger in sight. That, however, didn't stop me from taking advantage of an open road that lay in the middle of the desert just outside Dubai, when a gracious owner tossed me the keys to his 68 Mustang Fastback and said, "Have at it."
Khalid, the owner, he found this car and it was a mess, right? There was no dashboard in the car, the paint was a mess, the body was a mess. It was solid, but it needed a lot of work. He had never seen a 68 Mustang Fastback in person, ever. He had seen it on television, he had seen it in the movies, but he never actually laid his eyes on one until he saw this car. He bought the car in Colorado, had the car done, shipped it back to the UAE. So, what do we have for mechanics? Let's talk about this. Now, the Mustangs were always fun little sport coupe cars. This started out as a 289 car, but he had it stroked to a 347. He added fuel injection to it, he added a T5 tranny, and the result is a car that not only sounds good, but that performs great as well. Suspension modifications are subtle, but they're correct and they're right, meaning you look at the stance of the car. He's got the torque thrust replica wheels, he's got a nice set of BFG, radial TAs on it, and it's stanced very well, right? It doesn't rake, it just sits nice and flat, and the car looks really, really good. The rack on this thing is really quick. Like if I go like this, we're moving. I can do a quarter turn in my Charger and the thing just doesn't go anywhere. I mean, the steering racks on these cars have been used on so many different hot rods, and they're wonderful and they're great, they feel good. It feels right. Suspension-wise, it's pretty stock with the exception of QA1 shocks. Now, you can adjust them for firmness and stiffness. It's not out of the realm of, we didn't go too crazy with it from a, let's make it a pro touring car. Instead, what we did was, let's just make it a real good driver.
Understand this, a stock 68 Mustang is no joy to drive. They handle poorly, they aren't that quick, and they don't take abuse nearly as well as you might think. Thanks, however, to the fuel-injected 347 stroker, the T5 transmission, and some updated suspension bits, not only was romping on this thing a non-issue, but that type of behavior was more than encouraged by its owner.
Sounds so good. And it drives beautifully, right?
Yeah.
It's so cool to be driving one of these here. Now, if I didn't tell you that I was in the Middle East driving through the desert, we could tell you we were in Moab, Utah. We could tell you that we were in Southern California by Pismo, and you guys wouldn't know the difference. Except when I was driving by and a herd of camels crossed in front of the car. I didn't expect that. Kind of threw me for a loop. Look at all these camels. Look at all these f***ing camels. Oh, that guy's got a huge hump. That guy, he can out-hump everybody.
This is a roundabout light.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, that's the other thing about this place. They're not big on stoplights. They're big on roundabouts. And if you're not familiar with roundabouts, well, they are what they are. Whee! The car actually handles nice and flat. Let's do a pull. Let's see. Hello, camels. Here in the Middle East, it gets hot outside, like stupid hot. So think about, I don't know, it's July and it's 130 out. And you want to take your big block muscle car or your small block muscle car out for a ride. Well, the simple matter is you can't. You just can't. These cars don't perform well in the heat. Even in the States, these cars just don't perform well in the heat. So they're basically parked for most of the year. You get 3 to 4 months out of the year, and then maybe you could take it out every now and again at night and really bring them out and enjoy them. But the heat makes these cars kind of prohibitive. It makes it, what am I trying to say?
Difficult.
That Captain synonym. When we came over here, I didn't know what to expect as far as car culture. I mean, we look at the car culture online and all we see are you know, LaFerraris and Zondas and Koenigsegg's and every other form of high-end, you know, exotic. But the muscle car scene and the classic American scene over here has really caught on, and it's really starting to grow. The Emiratis are looking at these cars and they're going, there's something to this. We want to experience this. I love the engagement of these cars. I love the way that they make me feel. And they do too, and that's the coolest part. Like, you know, as an American to be over here and see one of our cars that's really being enjoyed for what it is and the style makes me really, really proud. And the other cool part is I've got not only great contacts, but we're friends now. I don't give a shit what your political views are. I don't give a shit what your religious views are. I don't care. As far as this goes, it's a great equalizer, man. You could be Muslim, you could be Catholic, you could be Jewish. We all speak automobile. We all speak hot rod. You keep doing that, the world will be a better place. It's unbelievable. This is a wonderful experience, Colin. I can't thank you enough for letting us do this. You know, I think now what we have to do is I want to see what other cars are out here. See if maybe we can find something else. Dude, look in your mirror.
What's that thing?
Dude, look in your mirror. You really? You gotta be kidding me! Nobody can.
You can drive fast as you want right next to the highway.
You guys are never gonna believe what we just saw. This is this is awesome. I love being here. I f***ing love this place. Dude, he is rolling. There's a guy next to us in what seems to be like, it's gotta be like an early 70s Ford F-250 or F-150, but it's been converted. in like a pre-runner truck, and he's bombing. Oh, he's stopping. He's stopping up here. Okay.
We gotta see what this is about.
Yeah. Oh, it's time to talk with this guy. Hang on a sec. He's stopping and he's looking at us and he's just laughing. I'll be right back because this is too good.
I can hear you just get out and just like, hey, what's up, man?
What's going on, dude? Holy cow.
It's hard to put into words what it was like to drive one of the most iconic American cars through a desert in the Middle East. Stating it was a sublime experience would be an understatement, and honestly one that I didn't think could be topped, until that is, I was passed by another classic Ford that tackled speed and abuse in a much different fashion than the Mustang I was currently sitting in.